Can I ask your name?
Yeah, my name is
Good afternoon. It's now 2 o'clock, and I'd like to call the Riverside Transit Agency regular Board of Directors meeting to order at 2 p.m. Thank you for joining us today, Thursday, January 26th. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to any new directors today, and I hope that I'm as smooth in my delivery as directors Zach and Linda and Bridget, so bear with me. I appreciate it. Before we begin with today's business, please ensure that you're in a quiet environment with no background noise. Please mute your device until called upon by the chair or the clerk to speak. To ensure we have an organized opportunity for everyone to speak, we have divided the board into groups, as we have in the past, and I will call upon each group separately. When your group number is called, please announce your name, then proceed with your comments or questions. We will remind you of your group assignment shortly. I will ask the public to speak after the board. Will the clerk please read the special notice?
On September 16th, 2021, Governor Newsom signed the Assembly Bill number 361 that amends and extends certain Brown Act requirements pertaining to telephonic conferencing of local government meetings through January 1st, 2024. As such, RTA has opted to conduct the January 26, 2023 board meeting via teleconference. Participants can participate via teleconference in each participant's own home or office area, which will not be made physically accessible to the public.
Thank you. For today's meeting, we will call roll call. Will the clerk please take the roll call?
Yes, Chair. City of Banning.
Yes.
City of Beaumont.
Councilman Gonzalez.
Mike Laura, City of Beaumont.
And then City of Banning, you are here, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. City of Cali Mesa.
Here.
City of Canyon Lake.
Here.
City of Corona.
Here.
City of Eastvale.
Here.
City of Hemet.
Here.
City of Jurupa Valley. City of Lake Elsinore.
Here.
City of Menifee.
This is Robert Carwin, alternate to Dean Dinas, and Menifee is present.
Great, thank you. City of Moreno Valley,
Here.
City of Marietta, City of Norco,
Here.
City of Paris,
Here.
City of Riverside,
Here.
City of San Jacinto,
Here.
City of Temecula,
Here.
City of Wildomar,
Here.
County of Riverside District 1,
Here.
County of Riverside District 2,
Present.
County of Riverside District 3,
Here.
and County of Riverside District 5.
We are present. Here.
All right. Chair, you have a quorum. Members, please remember to remute your devices.
Thank you. I'm gun shy here. Okay, at this point, we're up to item number 3, the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Director Krupa if you'd like to the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, I would. Please stand, put your hand over your heart, and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is public comments on non-agenda items. Will the clerk please read the directions for public comments?
Yes, Chair. Members of the public may address the board regarding any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. However, no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Comments shall be limited to matters not listed on the agenda. Members of the public may comment on any matter listed on the agenda at the time that the board considers that matter. Each person's presentation is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Thank you, Chair.
Has the clerk received any requests in writing?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make comments on items not listed on the agenda? Hearing none, the public comments portion for items not listed on the agenda is now closed. Will the clerk please read the board member group assignments?
Group 1 is Ruben Gonzalez, Mike Lara, Zach Schwenk, Bridget Moore, and Alonzo Ledesma. Group 2, Jeremy Smith, Jim Steiner, Timothy J. Sheridan, Dean Dynas, Lisa DeForest, and Linda Krupa. Group 3, Jocelyn Yao, Brian Berkson, David Marquez, Ted Hoffman, Malcolm Corona, and Steve Hemingway. Group 4, Karen Spiegel, Jerry Sinsich, Andrea Mares, or Joe Perdetto, and Ixtian Gutierrez.
Thank you. Next is item 5, presentation to outgoing chair, Zach Schwenk. The immediate past chair received a special package in the mail and was asked not to open it. You may now open the package. We can't see you. There you are. Oh, there you are.
So I broke the rules and I already opened it because no one wants to watch me open a cardboard box on Zoom. Thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate this plaque and gavel. Our youngest son, he loves the gavels. So he's going to be really happy until I take this to my office. It was truly an honor and a pleasure to chair RTA last year. So I want to obviously thank the balance of the board for their support and trust in me in chairing RTA. And then our CEO, Kristen Orsinski, and her team were absolutely fabulous to work with and made my job as chair extremely easy and enjoyable. So I just want to say thank you and appreciate everyone.
Thank you. Well, today we'd like to honor you, and so you have to bear with us and let us brag about you a little. Today, I'd like to congratulate you, Zach Schwenk, for your invaluable service as the chair of RTA Board of Directors for 2022. A representative from the city of Temecula since 2019, Zach's contributions over the past year were remarkable. It was a time of recovery for the agency, and Zach did a great job moving us forward. Here are a few things that happened during his tenure. Fueled by promotions that offer discounted or free rides, RTA ridership continued to rebound from the pandemic. In fact, when RTA buses reached 500,000 monthly boardings in October, it was the first time we hit that landmark since February of 2020. In all, RTA buses carried 4.8 million boardings in 2022, which is an increase of nearly 50% compared to the previous year. With ridership and funding still affected by the pandemic, Zach helped the agency strike a delicate balance between preserving core service levels and staying fiscally responsible. We launched an app called Go Mobile that effectively eliminated the need for paper passes and helped riders plan their trips and track the arrival time of their next bus. We also upgraded our buses with modern fare boxes that allow more ways for customers to pay and will soon accept smart cards, tap-enabled credit and debit cards, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. No doubt our most ambitious service enhancement was the recent launch of the agency's microtransit pilot service, Go Micro. The service had a soft launch in December in the Hemet-San Jacinto area on minibuses that operate every day, serving nearly 300 stops over a 30 square mile area. The new service has been a hit among customers looking for shorter travel times, more direct trips, and the ability to book a ride both same day and in advance. Students at California Baptist University, La Sierra University, Mount St. Jacinto College, Norco College, Moreno Valley College, Riverside City College, and UC Riverside continue to reap the benefits of GoPass and UPass programs that offer unlimited rides on all RTA buses. Those programs accounted for 397,000 boardings during 2022. We celebrated the news from an ambitious customer survey that showed 4 out of 5 riders were satisfied with their service, especially with the clean appearance of buses and the professionalism of our coach operators behind the wheel. During Zach's tenure, RTA officially began construction on the much anticipated Vine Street Mobility Hub, which will certainly enhance travel in the downtown Riverside area and boost connections with Metrolink trains. We're excited to open that facility later this year. RTA spent a lot of time strengthening communities by hosting vaccination clinics, upgrading bus stops, participated in community events and parades, and donating to nonprofits like Habitat for Humanity, Operation Safe House, and the Red Cross. In July of 2022, Zach traveled with then Second Vice Chair Smith and the CEO to Washington, D.C. to lobby for crucial funding for the agency's transition to zero-emission buses. In August, that trip paid off when RTA was awarded over $6.7 million from the Federal Transit Administration for the purchase of our first 5 hydrogen buses and solar panels for both of our facilities. After a 2-year hiatus, RTA welcomed back the annual rodeo, which saw Kyle Jones take first place for the 6th time in 7 contests. The contest also saw RTA board members Alonzo Ledesma taking first place, Zach himself taking second place, and Jerry Sinisich finishing third place. During the year, RTA celebrated the news that it received Grand Prize National Award from APTA for its promotion of a $5 pass program that used a shoestring budget to boost ridership during the pandemic. Zach was also a reliable member of Transportation Now, where he and members of the public advocated for public transit causes. During Zach's time as chair, RTA continued to make good use of taxpayer dollars, managed a responsible and balanced budget, and received positive feedback from independent and federal audits. This is just a snapshot of some of the accomplishments Zach had during his tenure as board chair. There are plenty more. Thank you for your leadership this past year. It was wonderful to have you lead our group. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks again. Those look backs are always fun, and it's just an honor to be part of a wonderful team here at RTA. So thanks, everybody.
You made it look so easy. Next item is item number 6, approval of minutes for the December 15, 2022 regular Board of Directors meeting. Does any board member have any comments or corrections? Do I have a motion to approve?
District 1.
Moreno Valley, second.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Banning,
Yes.
City of Beaumont,
I'll abstain.
City of Cali Mesa,
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake,
Aye.
City of Corona,
Aye.
City of Eastvale,
Yes.
City of Hemet,
Yes.
and just to check, City of Harupa Valley,
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Aye.
City of Menifee,
Abstain?
City of Moreno Valley,
Yes.
City of Marietta,
Abstain?
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Paris,
I will abstain as well.
City of Riverside,
Yes.
City of San Jacinto,
Yes.
City of Temecula,
Yes.
City of Wildemar,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3,
Yes.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
That's 18 yeses and 4 abstentions.
Motion passed.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is item 7, consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar will be approved by one motion, and there will be no discussion on individual items unless a board member or member of the public requests a specific item to be pulled from the calendar for a special discussion. Are there any questions or comments from Group 1? Group 2? Group 3? Group 4? Does any member of the public wish to pull an item for discussion? Hearing no more, do I have a motion, or hearing none, I should say, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
District 1, second.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Who was the second?
I didn't hear who. Okay. Who made the second?
District 1?
District 1.
Got it. Thank you. City of Banning,
Yes.
City of Beaumont,
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa,
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake,
Aye.
City of Corona,
Yes.
City of Eastvale,
Yes.
City of Hemet,
Yes.
City of Harupa Valley,
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Aye.
City of Menifee,
Aye.
City of Moreno Valley,
Yes.
City of Marietta,
Yes.
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Paris,
Yes.
City of Riverside,
Yes.
City of San Jacinto,
Yes.
City of Temecula,
Yes.
City of Wildemar,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3,
Yes.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Here, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Okay, next item is number 8, telephone and virtual conferencing policy for Board of Directors committee meetings and regular meetings. We will hear a presentation from Barbara Railinu. Did I pronounce your name right, Barbara?
That's correct, Chair Molina. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and board members. My name is Barbara Railinu, and I'm agency counsel. So today, for your consideration, it's a slightly different. It's pretty much the same as what you've been considering all along during the pandemic, as far as meeting virtually. But you do have 2 options available. The first option is to continue meeting virtually if you consider the state of the emergency, which is set to end at the end of February, as you all know, February 28th, and that you believe that meeting virtually is more appropriate given the pandemic issues. So you have that option to continue meeting as a board and as committees virtually after you've considered the circumstances of the ongoing situation with the pandemic. Secondly, you have the option under AB 2449 to also, on whether there's just cause, whether there's an emergency circumstance that could lead to a board member needing to meet virtually. So the second option is really on an individualized basis, and requests and notifications that there's either just cause or an emergency circumstance should be made as soon as practicable. And because if you choose one of those 2 options, if you have just cause or you have an emergency circumstance that warrants meeting virtually as an individual, a sufficient notice has to be provided. And as far as the request, if you needed to meet virtually as an individual, the request would have to be made today so that the board could consider it for the next meeting. Again, the reason for that is really because if one person meets virtually, that requires a virtual platform to be made available for any member of the public to also participate in. And so that can't necessarily be orchestrated last minute or the same day of the meeting. And so those are the 2 options. If the first option is chosen, which is to go ahead and continue meeting virtually for February while the state of emergency is still ongoing, then the second option is moot. And what we would do, because of the procedural issues involved in individuals seeking to meet virtually on a going forward basis, we would bring back a policy for the board to consider at the February meeting. This would also enable you to consider things such as individuals on committees making these same requests more of their committees as opposed to coming back to the board, since the board only meets once a month. And also since there's a requirement that for one member to meet virtually, a quorum or a majority of the board or the committee has to be meeting in person at one location. So the board isn't going to know that, and it won't be able to approve any requests made to meet virtually by any individuals. So that's one of the things we'd like to address in the policy. So the second more tricky component is something we would bring back to you. And again, if the choice is made to meet virtually in February, then the second part of this under AB 2449 is moot, at least through February. And we would come back in February with a policy for your consideration on a going forward basis so that individuals who have either just cause or an emergency situation can seek to meet virtually. And that concludes my presentation, Chair Molina. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we go, we break out into discussion by groups. February traditionally has been a very slow month and very little items. And we had talked about possibly going virtual committees and board for February, and then coming back with a policy for our continued meetings. And so let's hear what you all have to say on this matter. So we'll start with group number 1, comments from group number 1.
Yes, Chair Temecula. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and go. I'm comfortable doing.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm being
comfortable.
informal here, so I apologize.
All right.
I recognize.
I'm comfortable going virtual for one more month and then giving staff that opportunity to come back with something formal to finish out the balance of the year.
Chair Molina, Bridget Moore Wildemar, I agree
Yes.
with the previous comments.
Thank you. Any other comments from group number 1? Thank you for that. How about group number 2?
This is Linda Krupa from Hemet, and I
Yes.
would agree with that. I have no problem being virtual for the month of February and then addressing a policy going into March.
Thank you.
Jeremy Smith from Canyon Lake. I fourth that.
What do you say? I forced that. Oh, you forced that. You're too funny. Anyone else from group number 2?
Yeah, it's Jeff Steiner from
Yes.
Corona. I agree with all the
Yes.
previous comments.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. How about group number 3?
Yes, Madam Chair, Dave Marquez, Marina Valley. I agree with the previous colleagues of mine to have it virtual in February.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman, this is Ted Hoffman. I'll agree with that, a virtual in February, and then let the board come back for a March and see if we can all get back together again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
This is Brian Bergson, Harupa Valley. I am going to mimic what everybody else has just said. Sounds good.
Thank you, Director Brian, Bergson. I was on Bergson, Brian, Bergson. Got it. Anyone else from group 3? Okay, group 4. Okay, thank you. Has the clerk received any request to speak in writing on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item?
Yes. Glenn Leader, Carlsbad. I agree that virtual meetings should continue for February.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Canyon Lake.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Banning.
Yes.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa.
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Corona.
Aye.
City of Eastvale.
Yes.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Harupa Valley.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Aye.
City of Menifee.
Aye.
City of Moreno Valley.
Yes.
City of Marietta.
Yes.
City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Paris.
Yes.
City of Riverside.
Yes.
City of San Jacinto.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
City of Wildemar.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3.
Yes.
And County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Kristen, did you want to make any comments? About this stuff? Okay, good. Okay, thank you all. Next item is number 9, authorize staff to seek public comments on sustainable service plan recommendations. Jennifer Nguyen will present.
Chair Molina and members of the board. My name is Jennifer Nguyen and I am the agency's Director of Planning. The item before you today is to authorize staff to seek public comments on the proposed Sustainable Service Plan, or SSP, recommendations. On April 5th, 2020, the Riverside Transit Agency reduced service to a 7-day Sunday schedule with select commuter link peak service on weekdays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, service has been gradually increased to meet growing demand. On September 22nd, 2022, Transportation Management and Design, or TMD, was engaged to complete the SSP. This study was commissioned to evaluate RTA's current service levels and assess current and future needs in Western Riverside County over the next 3 years. I'd like to introduce Melissa Sather, the Executive Vice President of TMD. She will go over the findings and recommendations for the SSP. Melissa, I'll hand it over to you.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. Sharing this here, hopefully, okay, I'm sharing. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having us to present the draft recommendations for the Sustainable Service Plan. So a little bit about this project. So it's an opportunity to update the RTA bus network to better reflect changing travel patterns following the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that how people travel, when people travel has changed, with more people working from home, more people shopping online, and just generally changing their day-to-day travel patterns. It's an opportunity to evaluate the performance of RTA services to see where schedules and routes can be changed to help people get where they need to go. And finally, help make the changes necessary to support a move to a zero-emission bus fleet. In terms of the project timeline, in the fall, we conducted an extensive research and data collection effort looking at existing conditions and conducting a few surveys we'll talk about later, gathering input on potential recommendations. Over the last couple of months, we've been developing draft service plan concepts. And then with your approval today, we'll be taking those concepts out for public comment the first few weeks of February. And then finally, we would return in March with a final service plan incorporating what we heard from the public outreach effort. In terms of the planning framework, so currently ridership is at the highest that it's been since the start of the pandemic, due to a lot of those different fare promotions that the board approved and also people coming back out of lockdown. And you can see in the chart on the right, monthly ridership on RTA buses and how after that initial dip in March and April 2020, it's been slowly, gradually increasing back towards those pre-pandemic levels. But right now, we're still only at 60% of where ridership was pre-COVID. But mostly because, you know, in general, across all modes, we know that people are just generally making fewer trips than ever before. Service is already incredibly streamlined. With the 2020 service reduction plan, RTA spent a lot of effort trying to right-size service levels with demand. So right now, service is streamlined to match the demand that's there. And so there are limited opportunities to improve service without reducing service somewhere else, but we know that we need to make service improvements in order to regain ridership. And so the goal of these recommendations you'll see here today is how we can make improvements to regain ridership using the resources that we have. So the community outreach we conducted in the fall had a couple of different facets to it. The first was an onboard rider survey where we had surveyors in person on all RTA routes. We collected over 1,000 responses in the month of November. We also conducted a non-rider community survey combination of phone, email, and text, where we collected 1,100 responses from non-riders in Western Riverside County. We also held 2 virtual public meetings and 1 virtual stakeholder meeting. And so what we heard from the survey, so first what we heard from riders is that the most important service improvement that they could see would be better frequency of service. So when asked which factor is most important to you when deciding whether or not to use public transit, 47% said better frequency. And you can see the results here in the chart on the right. We also heard that morning, the hours between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. is the most important time of day to invest in more frequency, with 57% of respondents picking this time period as most important for additional service. We also learned that 73% of respondents prefer a 10-minute walk to a route that comes every 30 minutes, compared to a 5-minute walk to a route that comes every 60 minutes, meaning that riders are willing to walk a little bit farther if it means they have access to better service. What we heard from non-riders is that 32% would be willing to try RTA services in the future, and 57% of former riders would be willing to use the service again. The top improvements that would most likely encourage non-riders to use RTA services would be to have more direct service and fewer transfers, improved safety, and having more routes operating every 15 minutes all day. And the major reason that people would ride RTA over driving would be to save money on gas or to avoid traffic. And so with all of that input, we developed a series of guiding principles that informed how we went about making the recommendations. So the first is we really want to maintain the core network. We know that the top routes 1 on Magnolia Avenue in Riverside, 16 between UCR and Moreno Valley Mall, and 19 on Paris Boulevard between Moreno Valley Mall and Paris Station Transit Center, that these 3 routes alone carry almost half of all of RTA's ridership. These routes operate every 15 minutes all day. We want to make sure that stays that way. We don't want to take resources away from those routes because they carry so many of RTA's riders. We also want to maintain lifeline transit service for riders who rely on RTA. So we focused on minimizing network gaps where possible and looking at cost-effective alternatives where fixed route service is low performing. Third, we looked at rerouting service to provide more direct access to major destinations and essential needs, such as Walmart, Target, or grocery stores, bringing routes closer to these destinations. Fourth, we want to initiate timed transfers between low frequency routes to minimize wait times. So right now, if you have a route that operates every 70 minutes and a route that operates every 60 minutes, and you have riders who need to transfer between those routes, it's impossible to get those to match up so that they have a shorter wait time. And so what we want to do is have those routes have compatible frequencies, so they either both run every 70 minutes or both run every 60 minutes, so that those trips can be timed every hour or every cycle to minimize that wait time for riders who are transferring. Fifth, we want to streamline deviations to shorten running times and allow for better frequencies. Sixth, start service earlier in the day based on the feedback we heard from the survey, especially for connections with Metrolink trains. We want to make sure that routes that are serving the Metrolink train stations are getting there early enough so that riders can commute using both services. And then finally, we want to respond to community needs and input, make sure that our recommendations are reflecting what we heard in the surveys. So overall, the draft service plan is revenue neutral based on January 2023 service levels. So if ridership increases or if more funding becomes available, additional service can be added. And so you'll see on each slide a year 1 designation, that it's cost neutral, that change could be implemented in year 1. If it's labeled as year 2 or year 3, this means that the recommendation might require additional funding or is subject to increase in ridership. So the plan improves access to shopping destinations on 3 routes. It maintains service to 99% of current riders, and it increases the number of trips that connect with Metrolink trains. So what we're going to do now is go through each one of the individual route recommendations. For each one, we have a map with the proposed alignment shown in blue. Any new segments will be shown in green, and any segments proposed to be discontinued will be shown in red. So the recommendation for Route 8 is to discontinue the Railroad Canyon deviation due to low ridership and to provide timed connections with Route 9 for better transfers and shorter wait times. In year 2, the recommendation is to improve frequency to 60 minutes and have a new transfer location with Route 9 at Walmart. Currently, the transfer occurs at the outlet. For Route 9, the recommendation in year 1 is to provide those timed connections with Route 8 for better transfers. And then in year 2, to discontinue service to the outlet mall, ending the route at Walmart. This running time savings will allow for a frequency improvement from 70 minutes to 60 minutes with time transfer connections with Route 8 at Walmart. So we're going to get a better frequency on this service by shortening it up slightly. For Route 11, the proposal is to discontinue the deviation to Paris Boulevard, shown here in red, and this will allow the route to improve frequency from every 70 minutes to every 60 minutes, which will allow for more convenient transfers at Moreno Valley Mall. For Route 12, we recommend discontinuing the deviation to Rivera Street, Garner Road, and to shorten the northern turnaround to Chase Road due to low ridership. Route 13, recommendation is to reroute from Colorado Avenue and Monroe Street to Van Buren Boulevard to improve access to retail and grocery shopping destinations along Van Buren Boulevard. Route 18, the recommendation is to extend to Corporate Center Place. The extension is cost neutral if the frequency changes from 50 to 60 minutes, and it would open up access to the large number of shopping destinations that are there, including a Walmart, a Target, and a lot of other big box stores. So it provides new direct access to these major shopping and grocery destinations. Route 21, the recommendation is to add additional early morning service to connect to Metrolink trains at the Eureka Valley Pedley Metrolink station. Route 30, the recommendation for year one is similar, is to add additional service to connect with those early morning Metrolink trains. In year two, the recommendation is to replace Route 30 with a microtransit zone in Paris that would operate like the microtransit zone that's currently in Hemet, San Jacinto. And because microtransit has a limited seating capacity, we would still operate trippers to and from the high school on the larger vehicles in the early morning and the afternoon to accommodate those higher loads of students. Route 41, the initial recommendation is to discontinue weekend service due to low performance. And then in year two would be to discontinue the Ryder Street deviation, which would be covered by the new Paris microtransit zone, and extend the route to the Walmart on Moreno Beach Drive, giving riders access to more retail destinations. And this would also require discontinuing the turnaround loop that currently is on Alessandro Boulevard. For Route 61, we recommend serving Hahn Road instead of Bradley Road, again, because it goes straight by some of those larger big box retailers, like the Target over there. And then to discontinue the Encanto Drive deviation, which would be served by the redesigned Route 74. That's on the next slide. So Route 74, the recommendation is to discontinue service north of Sun City due to redundancy with Route 61, because both routes operate between Sun City and Paris, and then extend the route to serve that Encanto Drive deviation to maintain coverage. Route 79, recommendation would be to end at Promenade Mall. This simplifies the route, improves reliability, and allows for better time transfers at the mall. It's easier to time connections with transfers when it's at the end of the route rather than in the middle of the route. So for Temescal Valley, Temescal Valley is an unserved area with a high senior population. And so if funding is secured, we recommend implementing a shuttle that goes from Temescal Valley residential areas to the crossings at Corona for connections to shopping and the Corona Cruiser. So we would be presenting two different options to the public as part of our outreach effort. The first, option A, would travel between Target crossings at Corona and Vaughn's in Temescal Valley approximately every 90 minutes for riders. And option B is a little bit shorter. It could operate every 60 minutes, but it doesn't have that southern extension. So our goal is to present both options to the public to see which gets a stronger response. In Calimesa, the recommendation is to continue to evaluate service in the pass area and the transit needs of Calimesa, but there are no recommendations at this time. In terms of discontinued routes, so as part of the service changes made part of COVID-19 and the service reduction plan, the following routes were discontinued. and they are being recommended for permanent discontinuation. This includes the Rapid Link Gold Line, Route 18 south of Moreno Valley Mall, Route 21 north of Pedley Metrolink Station, Route 40 in Quail Valley, Route 202, the Route 205, 206 segment to Orange County, and Route 208 and 217. So in addition to those alignment changes, there are additional frequency and span recommendations. The first is for in year one, routes 1, 16, and 19. So they currently operate every 15 minutes all day between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., but there are some trips that are 20 or 30 minutes apart. So the goal is to get every single trip to be 15 minutes apart on these routes. We would also look at adding earlier morning service on other routes as warranted by demand. In year two, we'd recommend improving frequency on Route 28 between Paris and Hemet from every 35, 40 minutes to every 30 minutes all day. And then Route 44, the new circulator that was just implemented in Hemet San Jacinto, we would improve the frequency from every 60, 70 minutes to every 45 minutes. And then continue to restore service band to pre-COVID levels. One second. A lot of talking. So for year three, the route 10, we would recommend improving frequency from every 80 to every 60 minutes. And since a relatively high volume route in Riverside, wanting to improve that frequency. And then same thing with Route 15, improving the frequency from 40 to 30 minutes. And then continuing to restore service span to pre-COVID levels. So in terms of next steps, we would be sharing the draft service plan with riders and the public. You can see on the right, these are the planned outreach events that we have in the coming weeks. So next Tuesday, we'll be holding our stakeholder meeting, which includes, elected representatives and community leaders from all over the county at the stakeholder meeting. Wednesday, February 1st, we'll be having an in-person public open house at Bobby Bonds Park in Riverside. Thursday, February 2nd, we'll be holding an online virtual public meeting. And we also have a website that will be live starting next Tuesday through pretty much the end of February, February 24th, that has the same presentation that was given today and a survey so people can leave their comments. We will also be hosting 7 pop-up events the week of February 6th at the following locations at those dates and times. And so then we will be updating the draft plan based on the feedback that we receive and returning in March to request board adoption of the final service plan. Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Just to clarify too for the stakeholder, they're not elected officials, they're just our local jurisdictions, our cities and partners on that one. Staff is requesting authorization to seek public comments on the proposed changes that were just presented on. These are also listed in the staff report on pages 74 to 75. Once public comments are gathered, staff will return to the board to report on those results and seek approval for those final recommendations. There is no fiscal impact associated with approving this item. This item was discussed at the Board Administration and Operations Committee meeting on January 11th, 2023. The committee members unanimously approved and recommended this item to the full Board of Directors for your consideration. The recommendation before you today is to authorize staff to seek public comments on the Sustainable Service Plan recommendations. Thank you, Chair Molina. That completes my presentation.
Thank you, Jennifer and Melissa. That was a very lengthy presentation, but very good information. Let's open it up to comments from group number 1. Okay, how about group number 2? Any comments?
Hi, this is Tim Sheridan from Lake Elsinore.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this. I noticed that the pop-up events do not have a pop-up event in Lake Elsinore over by the outlets. Is it possible to add one?
We can look into that, Director, and we'll let you know. We'll be sending a full list of all the pop-up locations to all board members, and we'll look into doing one. We'll see if we can add one into at Lake Elsinore.
I'd appreciate that. Also, do you plan on adding more personnel to complete this change?
Do you mean adding additional staff? I think you cut off.
Yeah, more staff. I'm sorry. Yeah, more manpower to complete, once these changes take effect.
For the sustainable service plan, so far, at least for year one, it will be net neutral in revenue hours, but we can evaluate what's needed as we proceed forward, depending on what the final recommendations come out to be.
Kristen would like to address this issue.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank
Any additional service, yes, we would be adding drivers, potentially mechanics, servicers, right, when we're increasing our service. We are also hiring. If you know anybody that needs a job, we are currently taking in classes of coach operators. We have mechanic positions open, servicers. So we are hiring as well right now to try to add to our staffing levels. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Timothy. Any other comments from group number 2? How about group number 3?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Ted Hoffman from NORCO. Just curious on the input at our last TNOW meeting for our area, Corona Cruiser actually they're doing a survey on the same thing, and they brought back some interesting information on their ridership. And I don't know if you guys have tapped into that for it, because they hit the fact that disadvantaged neighborhoods and seniors are their major riders. So it's important that we touch that. And I'm glad you're looking at the Mescal Valley. Jerry would be appreciative. I'm sure he's shaking his head. Yes, yes, yes on that. So thank you.
Thank you.
This is Brian Berkson, Harupa Valley. Just curious, one of the slides I think mentioned the percentage. It was 43% or something of all of our riders are on these 3 lines, and the rides are typically, they're supposed to be every 15 minutes, but somewhere along the day it drops to 20 to 30 minutes. And it just strikes me as, why is that happening? Do we not have enough buses on the route? Do we not have enough drivers, or is it traffic issues? Is there anything you can tell me?
So that is actually how it's scheduled. And I think it's still a legacy from the service reductions that were made post-COVID, and they just haven't come back fully up to that even 15. So it's really, really close to 15, but if you look at the actual schedule, it's an occasional, like 1 or 2 trips in the morning that are a little bit farther apart. And we just want to clean it up a little bit. So it's every 15 minutes.
All right. So it's not a lack of manpower, or?
No, that's how it's actually, the schedule's written.
Okay. That's all I was asking. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Director Berkson. Any other comments from group number 3? How about group number 4?
Madam Chair, District 3.
Yes.
I'd just like to inform staff, I had a meeting with the representative from Cal State San Marcos, and they're concerned about the permanent elimination of Route 217. They would like to have an opportunity, and they will have through this process. I'm just informing you, and I'd like to connect them directly. They'd like to share with staff some of the surveys they've done with their students to either continue 217 or some version like it to service residents from Riverside County traveling down to San Marcos.
Thank you. Any other comments from group number 4?
Yes, Madam Chair, this is Jerry Sinsich, District 1.
Yes.
Thank you. Excellent presentation from Jennifer. Really appreciate that. And I would also like a pop-up meeting, if at all possible, in the Temescal Valley, if it could be fit into the schedule. I also and like Director Sheridan, would like to have some type of meeting down in this area.
Thank you for your comment. And I think I butchered your name earlier. I apologize.
Not a problem.
And we will be out in Corona at the Target right in front of there. And we're hoping to get feedback that way too.
Okay, great.
Any other comments from group number 4? Has the clerk received any requests to speak in writing on this item?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Chair, I have not.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item?
I would. Glenn from Carlsbad again. I agree with the comment about trying to bring back Route 217 and would like to add bringing back at least partially Route 202 from Oceanside. Those are the only 2 routes that connect San Diego County with Riverside County. And it's extremely bad now because the rail service has been cut off north of Oceanside.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else on the line that would like to make a comment?
Yes, I would. Mauro Varela, ATU 1277 representative. I just have a question. Is this something that's going to be studied before it gets implemented, or is this going to be implemented and just be studied as it's going?
I'll take that.
Okay.
Mara, I'm not sure what you mean by studied. The efforts that Jennifer and TMD are undertaking is to go out to the public and find out what the needs are in the communities. From there, we would bring back recommendations to the board of what we think the needs are and the modifications for our service, and some sort of plan for implementation that would be based on staffing levels, vehicle availability, funding, all of those types of things. So all of those things will be discussed more in March.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all I was asking for.
Thank you for your comments. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Moreno Valley.
Wildemar.
Will the clerk please take a roll call?
City of Banning.
Yes.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa.
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Corona.
Yes.
City of Eastvale.
Yes.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Jurupa Valley.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Aye.
City of Menifee.
Yes.
City of Moreno Valley.
Yes.
City of Marietta.
Yes.
I already got it down. City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Paris.
Yes.
City of Riverside.
Yes.
City of San Jacinto.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
City of Wildemar.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3.
Yes.
And County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you for this great presentation and all the great comments. We'll be looking forward to March to see what we come up with. Thank you so much. The next item is item number 10, authorization to award agreement number P22186F to Fritz Ford for the purchase of 6 trucks for stops and zones. Melissa Blankenship will present.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Molina and members of the board. My name is Melissa Blankenship, and I'm the agency's Director of Contracts. The item before you is authorization to award agreement number P22-186F to Fritz Ford for the purchase of 6 trucks for stops and zones. The 6 trucks, which are 2023 Ford F-450s, will be used by stops and zone staff for bus stop maintenance. 5 of the trucks are replacements for those that have exceeded their useful service life as defined by the Federal Transit Administration. And 1 truck will be an expansion vehicle to be utilized as a spare, which does not currently exist in the fleet. Staff has determined that a spare truck is necessary in order to maintain operational efficiency and not displace stops and zones personnel when a truck is being serviced by the maintenance department. The trucks are equipped with specialized equipment such as a front-mounted, hydraulically operated signpost puller, a 14-foot stake bed body with liftgate, locking tool storage cabinets, and as an added safety measure, the trucks have a traffic warning light system for use when working on the shoulder of the roadway. On December 6, 2022, staff issued the solicitation via Planet Bids. The procurement was also publicly advertised in a newspaper of general circulation, and a notice was posted on the agency's website along with a copy of the ISB document. On December 16, 2022, the agency received bids from 3 vendors, and the lowest bid came from Fritz Ford, located in Riverside, with a bid amount of $738,580. A list of all bids received can be found on page 78 of your agenda. Staff reviewed the low bidder submittal to ensure compliance with the requirements of the ISB. Based on a thorough review, staff recommends awarding an agreement to Fritz Ford, the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. The price is found to be fair and reasonable in comparison to the independent cost estimate, and all bids were received under full and open competition. The estimated delivery of the trucks will be fall of this year. Sufficient funds to cover this request are included in the agency's board-approved capital budget. This item was discussed at the Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting on January 11th, and the committee members unanimously approved and recommended this item to the full board for their consideration. Therefore, the recommendation before you today is to authorize staff to award agreement number P22-186F to Fritz Ford for the purchase of 6 trucks for stops and zones for a total project amount of $738,580. Chair, that completes my presentation.
Thank you, Melissa. Are there any questions or comments from group number 1 on this item? Group number 2? Group number 3?
Moreno
Group number
Valley.
4? Oh, yes.
Yes, Chair. Just quick question. What is state of good repair? What department or where's that funding come from?
Well, the state of good repair is the FTA wants us to keep all of our assets and our facilities in a state of good repair, that they're maintained, they're operational, so there is funding provided for state of good repair.
Okay, that's where it comes from. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else from group number 3? Group number 4? Has the clerk received any requests to speak in writing on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Okay, thank you. Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve this item?
So moved, Canyon Lake.
Moreno Valley second.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote? Oh, I apologize. Is there anyone online who'd like to make a comment on this item before we vote? Now we can take the roll call. Thank you.
City of Banning.
Yes.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa.
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Corona.
Aye.
City of Eastvale.
Yes.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Harupa Valley.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Aye.
City of Menifee,
Yes.
City of Moreno Valley,
Yes.
City of Marietta,
Yes.
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Paris,
Yes.
City of Riverside,
Yes.
City of San Jacinto,
Yes.
City of Temecula,
Yes.
City of Wildemar,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3,
Yes.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, it's unanimous. Thank you. The next item is number 11, authorization to execute revenue agreement number A23008 with Call the Car for the purchase of 30-day bus passes for Inland Empire Health Plan members, IEHP. I'll return to Melissa for presentation.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this next item is authorization to execute revenue agreement number A23008 with Call the Car for the purchase of 30-day bus passes for Inland Empire Health Plan members. IEHP is a managed healthcare plan that serves more than 1.4 million residents in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. One of the benefits they provide to some of their members is a 30-day bus pass at no charge. Call the Car is a healthcare transportation company that works with health plans to manage their transportation needs. Effective February 1st, Call the Car will be the exclusive transportation broker for IEHP and will manage all of their members' transportation needs to include the distribution of RTA 30-day bus passes. Therefore, staff is requesting authorization to execute a revenue agreement with Call the Car for the purchase of these monthly bus passes. How the process will work is when an IEHP member needs a bus pass, they will notify Call the Car, who will log into GenFare Link, which is part of RTA's mobile ticketing portal, where they will have an organization account with a list of all the IEHP members. Call the Car will select the member requesting a bus pass and send it to them. This 30-day pass is our general 30-day pass, and members can use it to ride any local fixed route and microtransit. At the beginning of each month, RTA will invoice Call the Car $60 for each 30-day pass sent to a member. If approved, this agreement would be effective February 1st, 2023, and run through January 31st of 2024. The projected annual revenue from the sale of 30-day bus passes will be approximately $150,000. This item was discussed at the Board Executive Committee today, and the committee members unanimously approved and recommended this item to the full board for their consideration. Therefore, the recommendation before you today is to authorize staff to execute revenue agreement number A23008 with Call the Car for the purchase of 30-day bus passes for Inland Empire Health Plan members. Thank you, Chair. That completes my presentation.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, group number 1, any comments on this item? Group number 2? Group number 3? Group number 4? Has the clerk received any request to speak in writing on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Wildemar moves.
Corona second.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Banning,
Yes.
City of Beaumont,
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa,
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake,
Aye.
City of Corona,
Yes.
City of Eastvale,
Yes.
City of Hemet,
Yes.
City of Harupa Valley,
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Aye.
City of Menifee,
Yes.
City of Moreno Valley,
Yes.
City of Marietta, City of Marietta,
Yes.
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Paris,
Yes.
City of Riverside,
Yes.
City of San Jacinto,
Yes.
City of Temecula,
Yes.
City of Wildemar,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3,
Yes.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, it's unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next item is item number 12. Adopt updated human resource policies, section 4-1, sick leave, and section 4-3, family and medical care leave, FMLA/CFRA, and pregnancy disability. Laura Camacho will present.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the board. My name is Laura Camacho, and I'm the Chief Administrative Services Officer for RTA. As a public employer, RTA is required to provide up to 12 weeks of protected unpaid leave under the California Family Rights Act, or CFRA, for various reasons, such as bonding with a newborn, caring for a family member, spouse, domestic partner, child, or parent who has a serious health condition, incapacity due to eligible employee's own serious health condition. In addition, under the California Pregnancy Disability Leave Act, eligible employees may take up to 4 months off when incapacitated due to pregnancy, prenatal care, or childbirth. Under the Healthy Families Act of 2014, RTA is required to provide up to 6 days of paid sick leave for the diagnosis, care, or treatment of an existing health condition or preventative care of an employee or a family member, or for specified purposes of an employee who is a victim of domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking. Effective January 1 of 2023, AB 1041 expands qualifying reasons for taking unpaid CFRA leave and paid sick leave provided by the Healthy Families Act of 2014 by allowing employees to use their 12 weeks of unpaid leave or 6 days of paid leave to care for an individual with a serious health condition who they can designate during a 12-month period. To comply with AB 1041, staff updated the agency's related policies, sections 4.1 and 4.3, which are attached for reference. Additional minor cosmetic changes were made to include making number references consistent throughout the policy. It's difficult to estimate utilization of CFRA leave for a designated family member at this time. Additional costs may include health benefit continuation during the 12-week period that the employee is on leave, or employee overtime the agency may incur when covering shifts related to leaves. Regarding the Healthy Families Act of 2014 amendment, there is no additional cost as the amendment did not increase the number of paid sick leave days. This item was discussed at the Board Executive Committee meeting today, and the committee members unanimously approved and recommended this item to the full Board of Directors for their consideration. And the recommendation before you is to adopt the updated Human Resource Policies, Section 4.1, sick leave, and Section 4.3, family and medical care leave, FMLA, CFRA, and pregnancy disability. Thank you, Chair. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Laura. Do we have any questions on this item from group number 1? Group number 2? Group number 3? Group number 4? Has the clerk received any requests to speak in this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment or question this item? Okay, do I have a motion to approve item number 12?
District 1 so moves.
Waldemar, second.
Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Banning,
Yes.
City of Beaumont,
Aye.
City of Cali Mesa,
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake,
Aye.
City of Corona,
Yes.
City of Eastvale,
Yes.
City of Hemet,
Yes.
City of Harupa Valley,
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore,
Aye.
City of Menifee,
Yes, and I'll inform the board that Menifee will be logging off after this vote.
City of Moreno Valley,
Yes.
City of Murrieta,
Yes.
City of Norco,
Yes.
City of Paris,
Yes.
City of Riverside,
Yes.
City of San Jacinto, City of San Jacinto, City of Temecula,
Temecula, yes.
City of Wildemar,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 1,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 2,
Yes.
County of Riverside District 3,
Yes.
and County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, it's unanimous.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next item is board member comments. But before we start with our group numbers, I'd like to make an announcement. I would like to recognize Tom Franklin, the agency's Chief Operations Officer, who is retiring next week after over 17 years with RTA. Tom, you have dedicated almost 2 decades to RTA, and we thank you for your hard work and perseverance. Operations is a 24-hour-a-day job, and you have answered that phone for so long. It's time to put your phone on silent. I know you didn't want to be recognized and would rather slip quietly out the door, but we weren't going to let you do that without at least saying thank you. Thank you for all you have done for RTA. We wish you well on your retirement.
There he is.
There he is.
Thank you
so much, Tom.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And it's been an absolute pleasure. I've been doing this for a while now, and it's time to hang my boots up and let other people do it. But thanks everybody for their support and always helping me with my crazy ideas. So thank you so much, and everybody take care.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, I'd like to open it up to group number 1 for board comments.
Yes, Bridget Moore. I too want to thank Tom Franklin. When I got on the board about 12 years ago, Tom was there, welcomed me, answered my questions, was always very kind, patient. So thank you for your service and enjoy your retirement.
Group number 2.
Yes, this is Linda Krupa. And 2 things. Thank you, Tom, for all the years and work that you have put in for RTA. You definitely will be missed. And on another note, some of us who are members of the Southern California Association of Governments Transportation Committee did a tour of a few transportation facilities in Riverside a couple weeks ago. RTA graciously supplied a bus for transportation for us, and we toured the Vine Street project. And then we were supposed to go to Colton to tour the train yard over there, but because of all of the rains, their people were out inspecting tracks for safety. So the last stop was at the Riverside CARB facilities, California Air Resources Board facility that is newly built and staffed in Riverside. It is a phenomenal place. Did not even know what to expect, and it was such an enlightening tour to find out what they actually do and how they test for different vehicles and motors and all of that stuff for emissions. Highly recommend that if you get a chance to go there to see what they do, that you do that. And our CEO, Kristen, was with us on that tour, and it was really a phenomenal day, for about 4 or 5 hours that we spent learning and visiting transportation facilities in our own local area. So thank you to, I noticed that Arnold San Miguel was on here. So thank you to SCAG and to Arnold for putting on this tour for us. And I would highly recommend it to all RTA members. So thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Zach?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to congratulate Tom on his retirement and thank him for all of his years of service to the residents of Riverside County. And I would go one step further than putting your phone on silent. I would throw it on the 215 on your way out and be done with it. Take care, Tom. Appreciated working with you these last 4 years.
Thank you. Are we group three? Yeah, group number 3. I almost lost track here. Any comments or announcements?
Yeah, comment Moreno Valley.
Yes.
Same thing. I want to tell Tom it's been a pleasure. The last 7 years working with you, Tom. And a couple of occasions you have gone out of your way to personally help me. And I want to thank you very much for that. And don't get scared when you retire, because when I retired the first time, I only lasted 30 days and had to go back to work. But the second and third time were a charm. So if you feel like you need to, if you're scared, you don't know what to do, stick it out. It'll all work out. Believe me, it will. So enjoy your retirement, Tom. Take care.
Good advice. Anyone else in group 3?
Yes, sorry.
How about group 4?
Sorry, real quick, this is Jocelyn from Eastville. Just want to acknowledge and thank you, Tom, and congratulations on your retirement. Also, something that's that was brought to my attention. I'll bring this up in my T-Now meeting as well. Yesterday at our city council meeting. Yes, Kaden, 1 second. That's my little one. It was brought to my attention that by the city engineer that one of the bus stops in our city, specifically on Sumner and 68th Street going northbound, I was told that bus stop, it's causing, although they haven't confirmed, but they suspect that it's causing accidents because it's blocking the view of incoming traffic. And and as a result of that, it's causing a blind spot. So just want to put it out there, and I'll follow up with with RTA staff, and I'll bring it up at our T-Now meeting as well. But that is something that was brought to my attention at last night's city council meeting. So thank you.
Thank you. Kristen?
Director Yao, if you want to send me whoever at the city I should talk to, we can get with somebody right away and see what we can do about moving it. If it's a safety issue, I don't want to wait too long.
Perfect. And also, sorry, I can't see, but who's speaking?
Oh, this is Kristen.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Thank
Sorry.
you. No worries.
Any other comments from group 3? How about group 4? Comments or announcements? Yes, Jerry?
Yes, I also want to thank Tom for listening to all my crazy ideas. He's been absolutely a tremendous asset to helping us. And, especially in the Temescal Valley, we have our bus stop, thanks to Tom and all the work he did in making that a reality. So, Tom, thank you so much for all the help that you've given me, as well as Temescal Valley, and enjoy your retirement. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, that moves us to item number 14, announcements. Kristen?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to thank Chair Schwenk for his support over the past year. My first year as a CEO, I'm not sure I could have had a better chair to kind of champion me along, to bounce ideas off of, to come up with their own ideas that we can implement. It was really a joy to work with you. Your enthusiasm for public transit and public service in general is really infectious, and I really enjoyed it. Going to DC with you and Vice Chair Smith was a highlight for me. You both taught me so much and allowed me to even go on electric scooters and see some monuments that I had never seen. So it was a great time. I felt like a kid, and I just really appreciate you. Mr. Franklin, congratulations on your retirement. You know, we're really going to miss you. You could have sat back the last few months and coasted, and, you know, you've been teaching Audrey, and you could have been that guy, but instead you were out in Hemet at all hours trying to make sure that Go Micro was set up before you left. And it's not going unnoticed, and I really appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed the time with your granddaughter and with Kathy and relax, and as Chair Molina said, turn off your phone. One last thing, Go Micro has taken off, and it's honestly more popular than we expected. We're still working through some bumps in the road, still working through teaching people how to book, but we do have an average user rating of 4.7 stars and about 200 rides per day on microtransit. So we're off to a strong start. Started right away. As soon as the kids came back to school, our numbers just shot up. So good news, and we'll keep updating the board as we move forward. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. In all my excitement to get through this agenda, I forgot that I had an announcement myself. And so I beg your attention here. I'd like to thank RTA who participated in the Vet Expo in Beaumont last Saturday. They had a desk there, and lots of people stopped by to get information. I did myself. I was cooking hot dogs with Lions Club, but I did stop by and get some information myself. So I wanted to thank RTA for that and all that they do. And Tom, congratulations again. And so at this point, the item number 15, our next regular Board of Directors meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 23rd at 2 o'clock. And so if there are no other issues, we'll adjourn this meeting of the January 26th regular Board of Directors meeting at 3:25. Thank you all very much for participating